Good morning, folks. It's 6:30 a.m. in the morning. I'm about to step onto my indoor trainer for an easy hour of heart rate zone 1. In episode 2 of This Cycling Life, we talked about the importance of indoor training. So what I thought I'd do is just talk you through my home setup. As you see, I'm in a very bright corner of my living room, lots of natural light coming in, a view to the garden. That's important for me. I'm not a guy who can sit in a garage and look at a wall. But that has also involved having some negotiation and discussions with my wife and kids, who are super tolerant, but who understand my passion for this sport. So let's have a quick look. So this is my bike. As you see, I use a Reynolds 953 stainless steel frame. There's a reason for that, because I do a lot of explosive and power training efforts also on the bike. For me, stainless steel is great. Very stiff, but more importantly, very strong. I had some bad experiences in the past with very thin rear-stayed carbon frames. So for me, it's also about not having to worry about damaging my bike when I'm doing those kind of efforts. At the back end, you'll see that I've got a fluid trainer. I find that very efficient, but also very smooth in terms of the pedaling, progressive pedaling power you can put into it. But most importantly, it's very quiet. I train in the morning, so it's important that I don't disturb my wife and kids who are sleeping upstairs. You'll see that I've got a very powerful fan. This is a Showtech model used for commercial applications typically. Not so expensive, it's about 90 euros, but much more powerful than the open cage models that you might find on the market. You'll see, of course, I've got my Garmin here. On the handlebars, I've got a Tax tablet holder. The tablet's not there right now because it's in my hands. I had to sort of hack it a little bit. You'll see I've got some zip ties here because I had to widen it out to hold my Microsoft Surface tablet. The Surface itself I find is fantastic, great screen responsiveness, good size, and you'll see here that I've got a wireless Logitech keyboard. As I mentioned in the episode 2 of This Cycling Life, this is my productivity station. I'll typically do somewhere like 45 minutes of work every morning on my bike when I'm doing that easy zone 1 active recovery work. Now, why is that? Because my heart rate is not so high that I can't concentrate. I'm not sweating all over my keyboard. I can answer my emails, I can work on a PowerPoint presentation, I can work on my social media, I can read a report, I can watch a TED talk about something I need to learn about. I even do some of my student grading papers sitting right here on the bike. So the important thing here, as I mentioned, is it needs to be in that easy zone because you can cognitively work quite effectively when you're in that zone 1, zone 2. When you start getting up, of course, into zone 3, zone 4, and especially when you're getting up to threshold, forget doing work. You're going to sweat all over your keyboard and you can't really focus and think about what you're doing. You certainly can't join in a webinar or have a conversation with a colleague when your heart rate is up around threshold. So I match essentially work task to level of effort. Hope that makes sense. Okay, down here, 2 water bottles, need hydration, and of course my power meter. Over the back, I've got my medals, 2 medals from the UCI World Series this year, my European Masters Games medals, and they're there for a bit of inspiration when I don't feel like doing my training. Finally, if we step back, you'll see that I've got my Plyometric Box. I mentioned the importance of plyometrics. Alan Davis introduced this as a key part of my training. So sometimes I'll step off my bike and I'll do those explosive jumps. Quite simply, it's a big wooden box, quite heavy, very stable. It has different heights depending on which side you turn it on. You jump up onto it. I'm at 75 centimeters now, but that's taken me a couple of years to get to. Very good for leg stiffness and muscular power. So that's my basic setup, folks, at home. As you see, in a nice bright corner. Makes me feel good sitting on this. But not only am I doing good in terms of turning those pedals, getting in the hours on the bike, I also get quite a lot of work done. If you've got any questions about indoor training, about productivity, please do post in the comments below or reach out to us on LinkedIn, Twitter, or of course, Strava. Thanks for watching This Cycling Life.